If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing Weather Report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Well, good Thursday morning. Taylor Plott here with a quick check on your forecast. Starting off your day with mostly sunny skies, maybe a small chance of a shower or storm during your morning hours. The best chance, though, will be during your afternoon and evening. But as you see here, nothing overly widespread or significant. Otherwise, just looking at some very hot temperatures for your Thursday. Thursday evening will likely be dry. And then by the time we get into Friday morning, still dry. But once we get into the afternoon and evening, probably some more isolated showers and storms that develop. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we have a slight break from the heat over the weekend. But then once we get into next week, that heat starts to crank back up. 96 degrees on Tuesday.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Where and when you can see this rare flower, the corpse flower, the next time it blooms, that will be coming up in a minute. And then how community donations are helping make the early days of the school year a little easier for so many. But first, let's get a check of our headlines. The Tennessee Health Commission approves the request of the two hospitals seeking to build facilities in Clarksville, Ascension St. Thomas and HCA TriStar Health. TriStar hopes to bring a 68-bed full-service acute care hospital to Montgomery County. Ascension St. Thomas plans are to build a 44-bed hospital to start that could grow to 132 beds. Read over the approval as well as next steps and what Clarksville Mayor Joe Pitts had to say by going to MainStreetMediaTN.com. 13-year-old Brody Mitchell is making an effort to help others in a big way. Brody and the Blarney store are partnering with the charity YAPAC of Clarksville to sell Amazon return merchandise. Brody's idea was to set up 3 different areas inside of the Blarney store market to sell the return Amazon packages, with proceeds going to YAPAC. The second annual Trans Amarama, hosted by Second Gen Graveyard in Gallatin, is this weekend. All proceeds from the event will be donated to the Gallatin Police Department for the Shop with the Cop program. Thursday evening, participants are welcome to dinner on the Second Gen Graveyard property. Friday morning begins with a Backroads car cruise and the Shine and Show car show Friday night in downtown Gallatin. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Welcome back. 2,000 visitors made a trip to see and learn about this beauty, Athena. The bloom of this rare corpse flower is short-lived, but in its hours, it offers a smelly yet beautiful sight. Dr. Karen Meisch, the Dean of Austin Peay State University's College of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, shares with us the excitement that this brought to APSU.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, so I get excited about plants, but to see everybody share that excitement and learn about something that is truly just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity about a plant that is just crazy. It's really exciting.
So, you know, they bloom, or how often do they bloom? Remind us of that.
Right, so a Titan arum is actually going to take 7 to 10 years to work up enough energy to actually have its first bloom. So Athena here was 10 years old, and this was her first bloom.
But it didn't take Zeus, her brother, quite as long to bloom?
Right, yeah, no, so of course we asked them to, you know, frame that time frame perfectly, but no, so Zeus, he had his first bloom, even though they're from the same pollination. That's why we've been calling them brother and sister, because they're from the same pollination. But Zeus had his first bloom in 2022 when he was 7 years old. And then what's really cool is after they have their first bloom, again, 7 to 10 years, but then after that, they can bloom again every 2 to 5 years. So Zeus has had his second bloom in 2024.
Just to reiterate, Zeus is at the Nashville Zoo.
That's exactly right,
Okay.
yes.
Fantastic. I have to ask, how do you know they're blooming? Like, what is that sign so you can let everyone else know so we can come and see it?
Right, so it all happens so fast. That's part of the just craziness of this plant. So what will happen is they'll grow, and they'll start off as this little sprout, and normally they'll sprout into this huge leaf, and it looks like a tree, but it's actually just a single leaf. And they'll spend 10 to 12 months in that single leaf getting energy from the sun, and then they'll go completely dormant. And then it'll all go back into the core or in its root, and you won't see anything at the surface of the soil. And then it'll sprout again a few months later, and then it'll again go into a leaf, and it does that over and over and over again until it has enough energy to actually make its first flower. Now, the thing is that we don't know, that same sprout for a leaf is going to look the exact same as its flower. It's not until you see the spadix, which is that really tall part in the center, that part will actually start to peek through just a little bit, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a flower. So with Athena, we saw her spadix the very first time on June 17th. And then 2 weeks later, she was as tall as you saw in all those pictures. So it is very, very quick.
That is very quick. How do you know if it's male or female?
Oh, so the names are arbitrary.
Oh, okay.
They all have both male and female parts.
Okay.
And so because it's a Titan arum, so that's another kind of cool thing in the Titan arum world, you actually don't get to name them until they have their first flower. Oh. And so Dr. Baskoff, since it was a Titan arum, named the first one Zeus because his parents were Titans.
That makes sense.
And then she said, of course, if we have another one bloom, I want to name it Athena. And so that is their names. And so even though they have both male and female parts, and most flowers self-pollinate, they actually require cross-pollination. And so they have some of the craziest pollinators you've ever seen, not your normal butterflies and bumblebees, right? It's all carrion beetles and flies that are attracted to, of course, rotting flesh.
That was my next question. What was that smell like in here? Because we're here at the greenhouse at the Sunquist Science Center here at Austin Peay State University. This is an enclosed space. What was that smell like in here? It had to be rather potent.
It was. So it definitely, Athena's had a really nice smell of death and rotten fish all at the same time. It was great. It was so wonderful.
Like that smell you get when you're going into Florida?
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's it. So no, it definitely is very pungent. Now it's also really crazy that smell only lasts for 24 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they'll start blooming. She started blooming about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and her smells were definitely reaching peak later that night and first thing in the morning. But by about 10 or 11 the next morning, all the chemical reactions that actually are responsible for that smell had stopped. And so once that stops, it actually doesn't take very long for the smell to dissipate.
What was the commonly asked question over the weekend from your visitors?
So a lot of people want to know where the Titan arum is from, and so it's actually from the island of Sumatra in Indonesia, and there's not very many out there at all, so maybe about 800 in the wild and up to 1,000 in the whole world. And so that is part of what makes this an endangered species, is that there's not very many of them, and of course habitat loss is very catastrophic for their species.
How lucky is it for this university to have not one but two? We're soon to be home to two of the corpse flowers.
Right, so it's very rare to be able to actually have them. So the research institutions, botanical gardens, or zoos, the Nashville Zoo actually has one as well. But Dr. Carol Baskoff is actually our botanist that started to look at the genetic diversity of Titan arums in captivity, because we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence in making sure that they have a high level of genetic diversity when they're already on an endangered species list.
And I'm noticing a cutout here in the back. What are we seeing here with the flower, with Athena?
Yeah, so Athena, they have a couple of really unique parts, and so this first part is the spadix, and this spadix actually would have been up to about 5.5 feet tall when she was in her bloom. And so that part is really important because that's where the surface area is that the chemical reactions are going to happen that actually make the plant stinky. And so they're actually thermal reactions. So we could actually get our thermal camera and see that the temperature's got above 90 degrees from those reactions to create that smell. And then this part around the outside is called the spathe. It's basically one big petal. And that deep purple color is actually to mimic the color of rotting flesh, as well as, of course, the smell.
Makes sense.
And then it is a cross-pollinated plant, and so that means that it has to have pollinators in order to actually be fertilized. And so in that little back window there, that's where you can see the female parts of the plant that are on the bottom, and those actually have to be fertilized in the first part of its bloom. And then they'll be completely turned off before the pollen can actually be made. So that means that it absolutely cannot self-pollinate. We're a public building, and we always love when people come on our campus, and so this is an area they can come see Athena and eventually Zeus right here at the front part of the greenhouse any day. We also have a couple of really beautiful native grassland gardens that they can walk through, and we're an arboretum, so a lot of really fun things to do here when you're on campus.
Is there anything else you all are working on that we would be interested in?
Oh my goodness. So yes, all the time. So we actually have an observatory that's not far from here.
Okay.
We have public observing nights. So you can come out to our big telescope and some of our astronomy faculty and students, and we'll kind of walk you through what amazing things you're seeing in the sky. And then during the school year, actually once a month, we feel it's very important to make sure that we're educating the community on science and fun topics in science, so it's not so scary. So we actually have science on tap. We meet at a local restaurant and maybe have a few beverages while we talk fun science once a month.
How terrific. How can we find when you're doing this and when you're hosting something?
Yeah, absolutely. So on our website, we have our events page.
Okay.
And so another great event that's going to be open this fall. I'm so excited. We're actually going to have Temple Grandin come and talk. Dr. Temple Grandin. That's going to be on October 30th, but she's phenomenal and really important in the agricultural world, as well as a great role model, especially representing those that are on the spectrum.
What is that website?
apsu.edu/costem.
Fantastic. Dr. Karen Meisch, thank you so very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you for giving this to me.
My pleasure.
Oh, thanks. You guys stick with us. We'll be right back.
Being in Tennessee, we wanted to try to keep it as local as possible, so we have an entire section of our menu that is just dedicated to local whiskeys like Uncle Nearest, Jack Daniels, of course, George Dickel, Nelson Brothers, Greenbrier whiskey, and all of our taps are all local. From 2 o'clock until midnight, we've got food every day for you guys. A good handful of appetizers, some entrees, and a couple salads and things like that. My name is Ethan Kanata. Please come down and see us at the Pick Lobby Bar here at the Omni in Nashville.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
833.
Busy bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
There's a line that links us all. Most of the time, we don't even think about it. But it's everywhere. Illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart, we believe in the power of good energy. And as your family and region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Throughout our our Middle Tennessee communities, you have a number of organizations and individuals coming together to make sure that backpacks are full for students going back to school in just a couple of weeks, really. Happening here in Clarksville, the Clarksville Rotary Club helping out with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We have Thomasa Munroe with us. First off, Thomasa, thank you for your time.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thank you guys
now,
so much.
You're the program manager with the Big Brothers, Big Sisters here in Montgomery County, again, working to make sure that these backpacks are good to go for students. What is the need that you're seeing here in this particular area?
So obviously, we are facing the times of, basically people don't have the money, and even when we did have all the money, it's really gotten tougher as housing goes up and everything goes up. So in our program, most of our kids need that extra support, those families do, and if we could help them out by just giving them their backpack and a start to school supplies, that is going to be a huge burden taken off of those parents. We do have all the back to school bashes, but they run out quick, so this actually guarantees our littles a backpack that's nice, that has name brand supplies, because believe it or not, kids make fun of kids when they get the knockoff stuff. So if we can take away some of that pressure and some of that bullying by giving them a nice backpack, a nice notebook, some good crayons, then that's what we're going to do.
Last week we saw that the United Way of the Greater Nashville area was working to stuff those bags. Again, you have Big Brothers, Big Sisters doing their thing. Like I mentioned, other organizations and individuals doing that. So it's stressing to you the need of all of our communities throughout Middle Tennessee. For those helping out to make those donations, what would you like to say to them, or what can you say to them to let them know just how grateful, I guess, this organization is?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the organizations that helped donate to us, it's a huge blessing, obviously. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to even provide half the backpacks, because obviously we're a nonprofit. We have limited funds, not to mention all the different things going on with grants and losing funding. So we really have to penny pinch and make sure that we're serving those donated dollars to the best we can. So with Clarksville Rotary Club donating the money and allowing us to go buy the backpacks and buy all the supplies, it really takes a load of pressure off of everybody.
If you are interested in maybe giving your time to an organization or becoming a part of a group in your area, reach out to Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Reach out to your local Rotary Club. I know with the Clarksville Rotary Club, I've been able to see firsthand of the give back to the community. This time of year, the beginning of the school year, you have these donations coming in, but those kind of get depleted as we move forward. Should we be donating throughout the year?
Absolutely, because one thing that Miss Joyce or Miss Britton tells us, she's the school-based program specialist, kids are needing more supplies by Christmas, and a lot of times we take what extra supplies we have, so we have a few that are left over, and we will take those and spread them throughout the year to the kids. So every time we go to the school and check on our kids, we make sure that they don't need anything. If you need a pen, you need a pencil, you need a folder, we're giving that to them. Any extra, I think we had like $100 or $200 left over from the donation. We have a cabinet in the office that's full of supplies, so we can replenish as we need. So if our parents come to us, whether they're on the community side or the school side, and they say, they just really need some more crayons or they need more paper, I just don't have that kind of money. We can provide that to them. So yes, absolutely, donations all year long.
Thomasa, thank you so very much. Thank you for all of this information. For those out there watching, if they're in Montgomery County, that's great. You can reach out to your Big Brothers, Big Sisters here. What if they're not in the Montgomery County area, they're in another county or maybe another state? How is the best way to reach out to their Big Brothers, Big Sisters?
Going to bigbrothersbigsistersofamerica.org will tell them locations within the different states. We in Montgomery County, although Montgomery County is the largest county we serve 7 counties. We serve all the way down to Perry, Houston, Stewart County. We don't have kids in all of those counties, but we're able to serve them if they were to reach out.
So say if some people can't make that donation because, again, they have little ones or they're just strapped, what's another way for them to give?
Another way for the community to give here is going to be through volunteering. We have the school-based program, that's 30 minutes a week during specials times for those kids, and in the community side, it's 2 hours a month minimum, and we really need volunteers. We have about 67 kids right now on our wait list waiting to be matched, some of them waiting over a year already.
Wow.
Still looking for their big brother or big sister.
And from what I hear the bigs get just as much out of that connection as the little ones do.
They do. They do. And what you'll see for us, a lot of people that come back were littles at one point. If they're serving us now, it's because they were served when they were younger.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. And again, go to the Big Brothers Big Sisters website and try to be a big to one of the little ones out there. Thanks for joining us here. We are always happy to be here at the Clarksville Rotary Club to share something that they're doing. Happy to share what the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization is doing. You guys have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.